Whispers of desire. The weight of her mother's words echoed in Mia's mind as she stood outside Jake's apartment. "You'll be living with your half-brother now. He'll take care of you." It had been years since she last saw him, and she felt a mix of apprehension and curiosity. Taking a deep breath, she knocked. The door swung open, revealing Jake, tall, with tousled hair and a hint of stubble, a man transformed from the boy she once knew. "Hey," he said, his voice warm yet cautious. They embraced awkwardly, both feeling the distance that time had created but also an unspoken connection that hung in the air. As she stepped inside, Mia took in the small details of his apartment, the walls adorned with art, the faint scent of coffee lingering in the air, and the clutter of a life lived alone. It felt foreign yet oddly familiar. She could feel the weight of nostalgia wash over her, mixed with the uncertainty of what lay ahead. "Make yourself at home," Jake said, gesturing toward the couch. They settled into the small living room, the tension palpable as they exchanged small talk, laughter punctuated by moments of silence. The evening unfolded with shared stories and familiar memories, yet beneath the surface, a current of attraction simmered, igniting sparks neither dared to acknowledge. As days turned into weeks, their routine began to settle into place. They shared dinners filled with laughter, reminiscing about childhood escapades and the awkwardness of adolescence. Yet, each evening brought with it an electric tension, a magnetic pull that drew them closer. One night, after a long day of classes, Mia found herself in the living room, flipping through channels. Jake entered, a beer in hand, his casual demeanor making her heart race. "Want to watch something together?" he asked, plopping down beside her on the couch. The space between them felt charged, and she could sense the heat radiating off him. As the movie played, Mia felt his gaze linger on her, especially during the romantic scenes. Every glance sent a thrill coursing through her veins, igniting a fire she had been trying to suppress. She glanced at him, their eyes locking for a brief moment, and her breath hitched. "Jake," she said softly, breaking the silence. "Do you ever think about how much things have changed?" He turned to her, his expression contemplative. "All the time. It's strange having you here, but I'm glad." His voice held a sincerity that made her heart flutter. That night, as they settled into their separate rooms, Mia lay awake, restless thoughts swirling in her mind. She couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was brewing between them, something that could change everything. The warmth of Jake's presence lingered in her thoughts, and she found herself imagining what it would be like to be closer to him. Weeks passed, and the tension between them grew unbearable. It was like a tightly coiled spring waiting to snap. One evening, after a few glasses of wine during dinner, they found themselves in the kitchen, laughter echoing off the walls as they prepared dessert together. The playful banter quickly turned into lingering glances and accidental brushes of skin. Mia leaned against the counter, her heart racing as Jake stood close, his breath warm against her neck. "I should probably clean up," she murmured, trying to maintain her composure. But Jake took a step closer, his eyes locked onto hers. "Mia," he said, his voice low and serious. "I can't stop thinking about you." Her heart raced as his words hung in the air, charged with implications. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "You know what I mean," he replied, taking another step forward, closing the distance between them. The heat radiating from him was intoxicating, and Mia felt a rush of desire flood her senses. Before she could respond, Jake reached out, brushing a loose strand of hair behind her ear, his fingertips lingering against her skin. The electric connection sent shivers down her spine, and all rational thought fled her mind. Without thinking, she leaned in, their lips meeting in a tentative kiss. It was soft at first, a gentle exploration, but quickly escalated into something more urgent. As they pressed against each other, the world around them faded away, leaving only the warmth of their bodies and the intoxicating taste of each other. Mia's heart raced as she wrapped her arms around Jake's neck, pulling him closer, deepening the kiss. Suddenly, the reality of their situation crashed down on her. They were siblings, half-siblings, to be precise, and the weight of that knowledge threatened to pull her back. But the desire was overwhelming, and she felt herself losing control. Breaking the kiss, Mia looked into Jake's eyes, searching for answers. "This is wrong," she breathed, her voice shaky. "I know," he replied, a hint of desperation in his tone. "But I can't help how I feel. I've wanted this for so long." Mia felt a rush of conflicting emotions, fear, excitement, and an undeniable craving for him. "What do we do?" she asked, her heart pounding. "Let's not think about it right now," Jake suggested, his voice low and inviting. "Just, let's enjoy this moment." With that, he kissed her again, and she melted into him, surrendering to the heat that enveloped them. They stumbled into the living room, their bodies pressed together, the kiss deepening with each passing second. Every brush of their bodies sent sparks through her, igniting a fire she had never known existed. Jake pulled away momentarily, his eyes searching hers. "Are you sure about this?" he asked, his voice thick with desire. Mia nodded, her breath hitching in her throat. "I want you, Jake." With that, they fell back into each other, the kiss turning fervent as they made their way to Jake's bedroom. The dim light cast shadows on the walls as they entered, the air thick with anticipation. Jake closed the door behind them, the sound echoing in the silence of the room. As they stood there, their hearts racing, Jake took a step back, his eyes reflecting uncertainty. "Mia, we should be careful." But before he could finish, she crossed the distance between them, capturing his lips once more. The kiss deepened, filled with urgency and longing, as they explored the boundaries of their desires. Jake's hands found their way to her waist, pulling her closer, while Mia's fingers tangled in his hair, feeling the heat radiating from him. The world outside faded, leaving only the two of them and the magnetic pull that drew them together. With trembling hands, they began to undress, each layer removed unveiling more than just skin, it was an unveiling of their desires, their fears, and their longing. As they stood before each other, vulnerability mixed with exhilaration, they realized they were crossing a line that would forever change the nature of their relationship. Jake's hands roamed over Mia's body, exploring every curve and contour as if memorizing the feel of her skin beneath his fingers. The warmth of her body ignited something primal within him, a hunger that had been building for far too long. He leaned down, placing soft kisses along her collarbone, eliciting a soft gasp from her lips. "Jake," she murmured, her breath hitching as he continued to trail kisses down her neck, his mouth moving with a tenderness that contrasted the urgency of their desire. "This feels so intense." "It is," he replied, his voice low and husky. "But it's real, Mia. I've wanted you for so long." With that, his lips found hers again, the kiss deepening as they melted into one another. Mia's heart raced as she felt the heat pooling in her core, a longing that was both thrilling and terrifying. As Jake pressed her back against the soft sheets of his bed, she felt a rush of exhilaration. This was uncharted territory, and every moment felt like a beautiful rebellion against the world outside. "Are you sure?" he asked again, his eyes searching hers for any hint of hesitation. "I'm sure," she whispered, her voice steady, despite the fluttering in her stomach. "I want this. I want you." With a shared understanding, they surrendered to the moment, their bodies intertwining as they fell onto the bed. The air around them crackled with tension, a palpable energy that heightened every touch and every kiss. Mia felt Jake's warmth enveloping her, and she reveled in the sensation of being so close to him. Jake's hands traveled down her sides, exploring the softness of her skin as he captured her lips in another heated kiss. The world outside faded away, leaving only the two of them in their own cocoon of passion. Every kiss ignited a fire within her, and she found herself responding with equal fervor, matching his intensity. As they moved together, Mia felt a rush of emotions, excitement, fear, and an overwhelming sense of belonging. Each kiss, each caress deepened their connection, and she lost herself in the sensations coursing through her body. Jake's hands roamed over her back, igniting sparks wherever he touched, sending shivers down her spine. They explored each other with a mix of tenderness and urgency, their breaths mingling as they shared whispered confessions and soft laughter. Jake's lips traveled down her body, leaving a trail of heat in their wake. Mia gasped as he kissed along her collarbone, savoring the way she responded to his every touch. "God, you're beautiful," he murmured, his breath warm against her skin. Mia felt her cheeks flush at his words, a mixture of shyness and exhilaration washing over her. "You're not so bad yourself," she teased, trying to ease the tension with a playful smile. With a playful glint in his eyes, Jake captured her lips again, and they rolled together on the bed, their bodies entwined. Mia felt the weight of his body pressing against hers, the heat radiating between them intensifying the moment. She wrapped her legs around his waist, pulling him closer, their bodies fitting together perfectly. As the night deepened, they lost themselves in each other, exploring every inch of their desires. The boundaries between them blurred, and the world around them faded into the background. Every kiss felt like a promise, every touch a declaration of the love that had blossomed in the shadows of their relationship. Hours passed, and they lay entwined in the sheets, their breaths mingling as they basked in the afterglow of their passion. Mia rested her head against Jake's chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. "What now?" she asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Jake brushed a strand of hair behind her ear, his fingers lingering against her skin. "I don't know, but I know I want to explore this, whatever this is, together." Mia felt a rush of warmth at his words, the promise of something more lingering in the air. "Me too," she replied, looking up at him, her heart swelling with affection. But as dawn broke, reality crept back in. The weight of their relationship settled heavily on her shoulders, and she couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty. They were siblings, half-siblings, and the world would never understand. Over the next few days, they navigated the complexities of their new relationship, balancing stolen moments of passion with the fear of being discovered. Every glance, every touch felt charged with meaning, a reminder of the line they had crossed. Jake reached out, his fingers brushing against her cheek, sending a spark of warmth through her. "Just remember, no matter what happens, I'm here. We'll face it together." With that promise hanging in the air, Mia felt a sense of calm wash over her. She leaned in, pressing her lips to his in a soft kiss, pouring all her love and longing into the embrace. It was a reminder that, despite the challenges ahead, they had each other. As the days turned into weeks, they continued to navigate their secret relationship, cherishing every moment spent together. Late-night adventures, whispered confessions, and stolen kisses filled their days, weaving a tapestry of love that was both exhilarating and frightening. Yet, the reality of their situation pressed down on them like a weight. They became masters of secrecy, finding ways to hide their affection from prying eyes. Every touch was electric, igniting a fire that burned brighter with each passing day. One fateful evening, they found themselves alone in the apartment, the air thick with tension. Mia had just returned from a long day of classes, her mind swirling with thoughts of Jake. As she entered the living room, she found him sitting on the couch, a book in his hands, but his eyes were drawn to her. "Hey," he said, a smile breaking across his face. "How was your day?" "Long," Mia replied, sinking onto the couch beside him. "But better now that I'm here with you." Jake's expression turned serious. "Can we talk?" Mia felt a flutter of apprehension in her stomach. "Of course. What's on your mind?" He took a deep breath, his gaze steady. "I've been thinking about our situation a lot. The secrecy, the fear. I don't want us to live in the shadows anymore." Mia's heart raced. "What do you mean?" "I mean," he continued, his voice low, "maybe it's time we stop hiding. If we truly want this, we should be willing to face whatever comes our way." Her breath caught in her throat. "But what if we lose everything? What if it tears us apart?" "We won't lose each other," Jake insisted, his eyes locked onto hers. "I believe that what we have is worth fighting for. I want to be with you openly, without fear." Mia felt a swell of emotion, the weight of his words wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. "But it won't be easy," she whispered, uncertainty lacing her voice. "Nothing worth having ever is," he replied, his hand finding hers. "But I'm willing to take that risk if you are." Tears welled in Mia's eyes as she squeezed his hand. I want to be brave, she said, her voice shaking. I want us to be real. With a shared understanding, they leaned in, their lips meeting in a passionate kiss that felt like a declaration of their love. It was a promise to face the world together, no matter the challenges that lay ahead. As they pulled away, Mia felt a rush of exhilaration mixed with trepidation. Let's do it, she said, her heart racing. Let's be real. Jake smiled, his eyes shining with determination. Together. The next few days were a whirlwind of emotions as they prepared to unveil their relationship to the world. Mia felt a mix of excitement and anxiety, her heart pounding at the thought of being open about their love. They discussed how to approach their friends and family, strategizing the best way to break the news. Finally, the day came when they decided to tell Mia's close friends. They gathered at a local cafe, the atmosphere buzzing with chatter and laughter. As they settled into their seats, Mia felt the weight of anticipation pressing down on her. Hey, everyone, she began, her voice shaking slightly. I have something important to share. Her friends turned their attention to her, their expressions curious. Jake sat beside her, his hand resting reassuringly on her knee, grounding her amidst the storm of emotions. Mia took a deep breath, locking eyes with Jake for a brief moment before continuing. Jake and we're together. Like, really together. As in, we're in a relationship. Silence fell over the table as her friends processed her words. Mia's heart raced, anxiety clawing at her insides. Would they accept it? Would they judge her? Finally, one of her friends, Sarah, spoke up. Wait, like, together? You mean you're dating? Mia nodded, her heart pounding. Yes. We've been seeing each other for a while now. Wow, another friend said, eyes wide. I didn't see that coming. Jake squeezed Mia's knee, a silent show of support as they waited for their friends' reactions. I mean, it's a bit unconventional, Sarah said slowly, but if you're happy, that's what matters, right? Mia felt a rush of relief wash over her. Exactly. We know it's complicated, but we really care about each other. As the conversation continued, Mia felt the tension ease. Her friends began to share their thoughts and support, and the weight on her shoulders lifted just a little. They laughed and teased, normalizing the unconventional nature of her relationship with Jake. But as the night wore on, Mia knew they still had to confront the biggest challenge yet, telling their families. The thought filled her with dread, but she knew they couldn't hide forever. They would need to face the music. After several days of discussing how to approach their families, they finally agreed on a plan. They would invite their parents over for dinner, where they could share the news in a safe environment. The stakes felt higher than ever, but they were determined to be honest about their relationship. The night arrived, and Mia felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety as she prepared the apartment. She and Jake cooked together, laughter filling the kitchen as they chopped vegetables and sautéed ingredients, the familiar rhythm of their shared moments providing comfort amidst the bubbling tension in the air. Do you think they'll be okay with this? Mia asked, glancing at Jake as she stirred the sauce. Jake paused, his expression thoughtful. Honestly? I don't know. But I believe that if we're honest, they'll understand. We're not kids anymore, we can make our own choices. She nodded, biting her lip. I just hope they don't freak out. I mean, it's one thing for friends to accept it, but family, that's different. Whatever happens, I'll be right there with you, he promised, reaching over to squeeze her hand. We're in this together. As the doorbell rang, Mia's heart raced. She glanced at Jake, who gave her an encouraging nod. They exchanged one last reassuring smile before she opened the door to greet their parents. Hey! Thanks for coming, Mia said, her voice slightly shaky. Of course, sweetie. We wouldn't miss it, her mother replied, stepping inside with a warm smile. Jake's father followed closely behind, his expression friendly but curious. The atmosphere was light as they settled in, and Mia and Jake served dinner, the sumptuous aroma filling the apartment. They chatted about mundane things, school, work, and life, trying to keep the mood light. But the underlying tension remained, like a tightrope stretched between them, waiting for the inevitable moment of truth. After dinner, as they cleared the table, Mia took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. "Mom, Dad, can we talk about something important?" Their parents exchanged glances, sensing the shift in mood. "Sure, honey. What's on your mind?" her father asked. Mia felt Jake's hand brush against her back, grounding her as she gathered her courage. "It's about Jake, and me." Jake stepped closer, his presence providing strength as Mia continued. "We've been seeing each other. As in, we're in a relationship." Silence enveloped the room, thick and heavy. Mia could feel her pulse racing in her ears as she anxiously awaited their reaction. "Wait, what do you mean you're in a relationship?" her mother asked, her brow furrowing. Mia glanced at Jake, who nodded for her to continue. "I mean, we're together. Dating. Like, really together." Her mother's expression shifted from confusion to shock. "Mia, he's your half-brother. This is unconventional." "I know it's unexpected," Mia said quickly, her heart racing. "But we've developed feelings for each other that go beyond just being siblings. It's real, and we want to be honest about it." Jake interjected, his voice steady. "We understand how complicated this is, but we care about each other deeply, and we're willing to face whatever comes our way." Mia's father crossed his arms, his expression serious. "This is a lot to take in. Have you really thought this through?" "Yes," Mia replied, desperation creeping into her voice. "We've talked about it for weeks. We know it's not conventional, but we're adults. We can make our own decisions." Her mother looked between them, her eyes softening slightly. "I just want what's best for you both. This is a lot to process." "I understand that," Jake said, his tone respectful. "But I promise you, we're not doing this lightly. We're committed to each other, and we want to see where this goes." As the tension in the room hung thick, Mia held her breath, waiting for their parents to respond. Finally, her father spoke again, his voice firm but measured. "If this is truly what you both want, then we'll support you. But you need to be prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. Not everyone will understand." Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Thank you," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "It means everything to us." Her mother nodded, though her expression remained cautious. "Just be careful. We love you both, but this is complicated." They spent the rest of the evening discussing their feelings and the reality of their relationship, the atmosphere shifting from apprehension to cautious acceptance. Mia felt a sense of hope blossom within her as they navigated the conversation together. As the night wound down and their parents left, Mia sank onto the couch, her heart still racing. "I can't believe we did it," she said, glancing at Jake. "Me neither," he replied, a smile breaking across his face. "But we faced it together, and that's what matters." Mia leaned against him, feeling a sense of warmth and comfort. "What if the rest of the world doesn't accept us?" "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it," Jake said, wrapping his arms around her. "For now, let's focus on us." With that, they shared a tender kiss, the worries of the outside world momentarily forgotten. In the weeks that followed, they embraced their relationship with newfound freedom, venturing out together in public and sharing their love openly. Gone were the secretive glances and hidden kisses. Now, they held hands, kissed in public, and reveled in the joy of being together without fear. They faced challenges, of course. Whispers and judgment from strangers, the occasional raised eyebrow from acquaintances, but they stood strong, their bond growing deeper with each obstacle they encountered. Mia found strength in Jake's unwavering support, and he, in turn, drew confidence from her willingness to embrace their unconventional love. They became each other's safe haven, navigating the complexities of their relationship together. One afternoon, while walking through a park, hand in hand, Mia turned to Jake, a playful smile on her face. "You know, I never thought I'd be here, walking with you like this." "Neither did I," he admitted, a grin lighting up his features. "But I wouldn't trade it for anything." As they strolled, they found a secluded bench beneath a sprawling oak tree, the leaves rustling gently in the breeze. They sat down, their shoulders brushing, and Jake looked at her with a mix of affection and mischief. "What are you thinking?" he asked, his eyes sparkling. Mia shrugged, a smile tugging at her lips. "Just how lucky I am to have you. And how scary it is to love someone so deeply." Jake's expression softened, and he leaned closer, brushing his lips against her temple. "You're not alone in that. I feel the same way." They shared a tender kiss, the world around them fading into the background. In that moment, nothing else mattered but the two of them and the love they had forged against all odds. As summer transitioned into autumn, they embraced the changing seasons of their relationship, savoring each moment spent together. They explored new places, tried new things, and continued to strengthen their bond through shared experiences. But as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, they knew they couldn't ignore the inevitable conversation that loomed on the horizon. As autumn settled in, the world outside seemed to reflect the changes in their relationship, a beautiful tapestry woven with love, yet tinged with the complexities of their situation. One chilly evening, after a day spent hiking in the nearby woods, Mia and Jake returned to the apartment, exhilarated yet contemplative. They poured themselves cups of hot cocoa, the warmth seeping into their chilled fingers as they settled onto the couch, the soft glow of the fireplace casting flickering shadows around the room. "Do you want to talk about it?" Jake asked, breaking the silence that had settled between them. He knew what was on Mia's mind, he could feel it in the air. Mia took a deep breath, her heart racing. "Yeah. I think we need to. We can't keep pretending that everything is perfect. There's still so much to consider." Jake nodded, his expression serious. "I agree. We've been so focused on enjoying what we have that we haven't really addressed the future." Mia wrapped her fingers around her mug, the warmth comforting yet grounding. "I love you, Jake. I do. But there's so much uncertainty. What happens when the novelty wears off? What if we can't handle the outside pressure?" Jake leaned forward, his gaze unwavering. "Mia, I don't want to lose you. But we have to be realistic. We're navigating a complicated relationship. It won't always be easy, and there will be challenges ahead." Mia felt a mix of fear and determination. "I know, and I don't want to lose what we have either. But I also don't want to wake up one day and realize we've lost ourselves in this." "Then let's promise to communicate," Jake suggested, his voice earnest. "We'll talk about everything, the good, the bad, the complicated. If we're going to do this, we have to be all in, together." Mia nodded, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. "I can do that. I want to be honest with you, always." With that, they shared a soft kiss, sealing their promise with the warmth of their connection. The conversation opened a floodgate of emotions, and they began to discuss the realities of their relationship, the possibility of facing judgment, the potential for family reactions, and the uncertainty of their future. As they talked late into the night, they found solace in each other's words, their fears transformed into a shared understanding. They acknowledged that their love was unconventional, but it was also beautiful, and they were willing to fight for it. In the weeks that followed, their relationship continued to evolve. They became more comfortable with their love, navigating the world with a newfound confidence. Mia cherished the moments they spent together, exploring new restaurants, attending art shows, and enjoying quiet evenings at home. One evening, as they were curled up on the couch watching a movie, the doorbell rang, interrupting their cozy moment. Mia exchanged a glance with Jake, her heart racing. "Who could that be?" "I'll get it," he said, rising from the couch. As Jake opened the door, Mia's heart sank. Standing at the threshold were her parents, their expressions a mix of concern and curiosity. "Surprise," her mother exclaimed, a smile on her face. "We thought we'd come by and see how you two are doing." Mia felt the blood drain from her face as she glanced at Jake, whose expression mirrored her own surprise. Hey," she stammered, trying to mask her sudden anxiety. "Come in," Jake said, stepping aside to allow them to enter. The atmosphere immediately shifted, becoming thick with unspoken tension. Mia's parents settled onto the couch, and she and Jake exchanged a brief glance, silently communicating their apprehension. They had hoped for a bit more time to adjust to their relationship before facing this moment. So, her father began, looking between Mia and Jake. "We've been discussing what you told us the other night." Mia's heart raced. "Yeah, I just want to make sure you both understand the implications of this," her father continued, his tone serious. "This isn't just a casual relationship. You're family, and it complicates things." "And what about your futures?" her mother added, her expression concerned. "You both have so much ahead of you. I just want to make sure you're making the right choices." Mia felt a wave of frustration wash over her. "We know it's complicated, but we're not just jumping into this without thinking. We care about each other deeply." Jake nodded in agreement. "We're committed to facing whatever comes our way, together. We understand the challenges, but we also believe in what we have." Her parents exchanged glances, their expressions softening slightly. "We just want what's best for you both," her mother said gently. "We love you, and we want to support you, but we need to make sure you're prepared for the reactions from others." Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their concern. "We're aware of that. We're ready to face it, together. I just hope that you can support us in this." After a lengthy discussion, Mia's parents began to relax a bit. They shared their worries and fears, and over the course of the evening, it became clear that while they were still apprehensive, they were willing to try to understand and accept Mia and Jake's relationship. As the evening drew to a close, Mia felt a mix of relief and exhaustion. They had faced one hurdle, but she knew more awaited them. With her parents' support, they could navigate the complexities ahead, but the reality of their situation still loomed large. In the weeks that followed, Mia and Jake found themselves growing closer, their love blossoming amidst the challenges. They learned to communicate openly, addressing any concerns or fears that arose. They became each other's anchor, navigating the outside world as a united front. However, the whispers from society still lingered. They faced judgment from strangers and the occasional raised eyebrow from acquaintances. But they stood strong, their bond deepening with each challenge they encountered. One crisp autumn day, they decided to visit a local art fair. The sun shone brightly, casting golden rays over the vibrant colors of the artwork displayed around them. They strolled hand in hand, immersed in the beauty of the day and the warmth of each other's presence. As they wandered through the stalls, Mia felt a sense of freedom wash over her. "This is nice," she said, glancing up at Jake, who wore a contented smile. "Yeah," he replied, pausing to admire a painting. "I love days like this with you." They continued to explore the fair, stopping to admire various pieces of art and chatting with local artists. But as they approached one particular stall, Mia felt a flicker of hesitation as she noticed a familiar face in the crowd, an old friend from high school. "Jake," she whispered, her heart racing. "It's Sarah." Jake turned to see her approaching, a friendly smile on her face. "Hey, Mia. It's been so long. How have you been?" Before Mia could respond, Sarah's gaze shifted to Jake, her smile faltering slightly. "And you're Jake, right? Mia's brother?" Mia felt a rush of anxiety wash over her. Yeah, that's him," she said, trying to sound casual, but her heart was pounding in her chest. "Interesting to see you two together," Sarah said, her tone shifting slightly. Mia could sense the underlying curiosity in her voice, the unspoken questions hanging in the air. "We're just enjoying the art fair," Jake replied smoothly, his confidence radiating as he wrapped an arm around Mia's waist. "How about you?" "Oh, just checking out some local artists," Sarah said, her gaze flickering between them. "It's great to see you both. I didn't know you were back in town, Mia." "Yeah, I've been here for a while now," Mia replied, attempting to maintain a friendly tone despite the tension bubbling just beneath the surface. Sarah seemed to hesitate, her expression betraying a mix of intrigue and concern. "So, you two are together?" she asked, her tone cautious. Mia felt Jake's grip tighten slightly around her, a silent show of support. Yeah, we are, Mia confirmed, meeting Sarah's gaze directly. We've been together for a while now. There was a moment of silence as Sarah processed this information. Wow. That's unexpected, she finally said, her expression thoughtful. But if it makes you happy, that's what matters, right? Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her at Sarah's acceptance, but the lingering doubt in her heart made her cautious. Thanks, Sarah. We know it's complicated, but we really care about each other. Just be careful, okay? Sarah said, her voice softening. People can be judgmental, and I know how rumors can spread. Trust me, we're aware, Jake replied, his tone firm. But we're navigating this together, and we're committed to making it work. Mia could see the understanding in Sarah's eyes, and for a moment, she felt a connection with her old friend. I appreciate your concern, she said, her voice sincere. It means a lot. As they exchanged a few more pleasantries, Mia felt a sense of relief. They had faced the first encounter with someone from their past, and it hadn't gone as badly as she had feared. After Sarah moved on to continue her exploration of the fair, Mia turned to Jake, her heart still racing. Did that just happen? She asked, a mix of disbelief and relief flooding her voice. Jake chuckled, pulling her closer. Yeah, it did. And I think it went well. She didn't freak out. True, Mia replied, her smile returning. Maybe it won't be as hard as we thought. As they continued to stroll through the art fair, Mia felt a newfound sense of strength. They were taking steps towards being open about their relationship, and even though the journey was fraught with challenges, they were united. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in warm hues of orange and pink, they found a quiet spot to sit and enjoy the view. The air was crisp, and the laughter of children playing nearby filled the atmosphere with warmth. Mia, Jake said, looking at her with a serious expression, I want you to know how much I care about you. This hasn't been easy, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Mia felt her heart swell at his words. I feel the same way. I never thought I could love someone so deeply, especially with all the complications. But you make it feel so right. Jake took her hand, intertwining their fingers. No matter what happens, I'm here for you. We'll face whatever comes our way together. They shared a tender kiss, and in that moment everything felt perfect. The world around them faded, and it was just the two of them, wrapped in each other's warmth. As they pulled away, Mia glanced at Jake, her heart racing. What do you think our families will say when they see us together in public? Jake shrugged, a confident smile on his face. At this point, I think they're starting to accept it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let's just enjoy being us. With that thought in mind, they made their way back to the bustling crowds of the fair. The music played softly in the background, and the vibrant colors of the art around them felt alive. They stopped at various stalls, admiring the creativity of local artists and enjoying the moments of laughter and connection. Later that evening, as they returned to the apartment, Mia felt a sense of exhilaration. They had faced the day together, navigating the complexities of their relationship while embracing the joy of being in love. As they entered the apartment, Jake turned to her, a playful grin on his face. What do you say we celebrate our day? Mia raised an eyebrow, intrigued. How do you propose we do that? Jake's grin widened as he reached for her hand, leading her to the living room. Let's make some dinner, pour a couple of glasses of wine, and just have a cozy night in. That sounds perfect, Mia replied, her heart fluttering at the thought of spending an intimate evening together. They set to work in the kitchen, preparing a simple yet delicious meal, laughter filling the air as they playfully competed to see who could chop vegetables faster. The atmosphere was light and fun, a welcome reprieve from the weight of the day. Once dinner was ready, they settled onto the couch with their plates, enjoying the warmth of the meal and each other's company. Between bites, they recounted funny stories from their childhood, their laughter echoing in the cozy space. As the evening wore on, Mia felt a sense of contentment wash over her. They poured glasses of wine, savoring the rich flavors and the intimacy of the moment. With each sip, the walls they had built around their feelings began to dissolve, allowing the warmth of their connection to fill the space between them. "Jake," Mia said, her voice soft, "I'm really glad we're doing this. I feel so much lighter being open about our relationship." "Me too," he replied, his gaze steady. "It's freeing to be ourselves without hiding." The moment felt charged, and without thinking, Mia leaned in, capturing his lips in a passionate kiss. Jake responded eagerly, his hands finding her waist as he pulled her closer. The kiss deepened, filled with the urgency of their emotions, and Mia felt herself melting into him. With the holidays approaching, they fell into a rhythm of exploring seasonal traditions together, all while weaving in the unique features of their relationship. They baked cookies, went ice skating, and wrapped presents side by side, the soft warmth of shared experiences fortifying their bond. As Christmas Eve approached, Mia and Jake decided to host a small, intimate gathering, inviting only those who had stood by them. The setting felt perfect, candlelight flickered, and decorations glimmered softly in the dim light. As Mia watched her friends laugh and share stories, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Surrounded by love and support, the challenges they faced had led to a beautiful connection that flourished under the bright lights of the holiday season. Toward the end of the night, Jake gathered everyone in the cozy living room. "I have something to say," he announced, a hint of mischief dancing in his eyes. Mia's heart raced. Jake pulled out a beautifully wrapped gift, presenting it to Mia. "I want you to open this." Curiosity bubbled within her as she tore the wrapping away. Inside, she found a stunning charm bracelet adorned with tiny holiday-themed charms. "Oh, Jake! It's beautiful," she exclaimed, admiring the detail of the whimsical snowman, angel, and star. "I thought you could add to it over time, collecting memories together," he said softly, his gaze filled with affection. Mia felt tears pricking her eyes. "Thank you. This means so much to me." Gathering their friends, they made a toast to love, support, and new beginnings. In that moment, Mia knew she had chosen the right path, and the future held endless possibilities for them. As the new year approached, Mia and Jake embraced the excitement of what lay ahead. They spent New Year's Eve together surrounded by friends, laughing, dancing, and sharing dreams for the future. When the clock struck midnight, they shared a deep, passionate kiss, sealing the promise of new beginnings as fireworks lit up the night sky. The vibrant colors of the fireworks mirrored the excitement in their hearts as they welcomed the new year together. Amidst the cheers and celebration, Jake leaned closer to Mia, his voice barely above the din. "This year is going to be special, I can feel it." Mia smiled, warmth spreading through her at his words. "I have a great feeling about it too. We're creating a life together, and that's everything I've ever wanted." As the festivities continued, they danced together, lost in each other's gaze amidst the joyous crowd. The warmth of bodies surrounding them only amplified the heat building between them, and Mia realized just how lucky she was to have Jake by her side. A few weeks into the new year, Mia felt a renewed sense of commitment to their relationship and their shared dreams for the future. They spent weekends planning trips and adventures, from exploring nearby towns to distant destinations they'd always wanted to visit. One evening, as they settled on the couch to discuss potential plans, Jake reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box, opening it to reveal a beautiful ring. "Mia, will you marry me?" Tears filled Mia's eyes as her heart soared. The ring was stunning, a delicate design that sparkled in the soft light of their living room. "Oh my God, yes! Yes, I will marry you," she exclaimed, throwing her arms around him. Jake slipped the ring onto her finger, the gesture feeling like a beautiful promise of their life ahead. As they kissed, sealing their new commitment, the world outside faded away, leaving just the two of them in their cozy haven filled with love. In the weeks that followed, they embraced the joy of planning their wedding while continuing to nurture their home and relationship. They wanted the day to be intimate, reflecting the love and journey they had shared. As they began to prepare for the wedding, with every detail discussed and every decision made, their anticipation grew. Friends were invited, family was told, and they revealed the beauty of the life they were building together. The day of their wedding arrived, filled with excitement and love. Surrounded by their closest family and friends, Mia and Jake exchanged vows under a beautiful canopy of flowers, vows that spoke not only to their love but also to the journey they had taken together. With every breath, every moment together, they knew they were building something truly special, a life enriched by their love. The future loomed ahead, bright with possibilities, filled with dreams yet to be realized. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Your support means a lot to us. See you in the next video.